Everyone? This is the Ninja and Flannel episode 2. We have not been here for a while, exactly about 5 minutes since our last live stream, which was a complete disaster and which was no fault of my own. Pretty sure it was Rumble's Boost mobile system. That's what I'm gonna blame it on, not the fact that I don't know how to run a computer. I don't never want to blame that.
I would say there's a greater than 0 chance that it was Rumble's fault, and that's enough,
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
That's enough for me.
I think it was a shadow ban. That's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah,
that's
the go. Silenced.
That's the go-to line. We were just being silenced from each other, though. That was the fun part.
Yeah. I put a few jabs out there, a few little. I won't say insults, but I'll say whatever is a little bit nicer than an insult.
I don't know what you said, but the press is already asking for a statement from me. And my response is that the reason it's got so renowned on the East Coast is because it's still potent by the time it hits the West Coast. So
I can confirm. It's truly spectacular what you can do.
Mike Ranger, welcome to the comment section again. Appreciate you coming back for round 2 of the chaos.
Round 2, part 2.
To be fair, my podcast section on YouTube is in fact called Podcast of Chaos. So you knew the assignment. So anyway, so as planned as before, we're going to be doing EDC tonight. Run through that, all the different stuff, hopefully make fun of some people, hopefully not be made fun of too much. Then we'll move into basics of night vision. Me and Jimmy are both semi new to night vision, but we both have functioning systems. So we both have functioning systems. So we're a pretty good level where if you want to get into it and where to start, we know where to start because we just passed that. So it's fresh in our minds. After that, I want to talk about some training drills that just simple ones anybody can do that will improve a lot of skill. Very basic systems, and usually you can do all of it within about 50 rounds of ammo of pistol and or rifle. Last, we'll have the giveaway. Talked about before. First item of giveaway is going to be a nice pocket knife from Kansept. This was sent to the channel. There's also going to be a delay to me shipping it to the winner because I have to review it still, and I'm very excited about that. Pretty cool knife, S35 VN steel, all that stuff. So pretty nice carbon fiber handle, stuff like that. So that's going to be our first giveaway. We'll get into some of the others later. There's some other pretty cool ones. So that'll be the end of the live stream tonight. So pretty cool. That's going to be a start to our giveaway system. Now, details. If you want to get on that giveaway, there's going to be a link in the Rumble description. And I don't know if it will be transferred over to YouTube or not. I may have to add it manually while we're chatting. But if you click on that link, it's going to go to my website. Since I'm technologically illiterate, if you sign up there for the email list, we're going to pull the names from the people who joined the email list tonight, throw them into one of those raffle scramblers, and that's how we're going to draw the names.
Nice.
So that is the plan for how that's going to go, but that will be at the end. So we got a good amount of time until we hit that point.
That's a pretty sweet knife. I'm honestly jealous.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty happy with it. It's what do you think about the blade shape?
I'm a fan. I gotta say to me, that's a very useful blade shape. It's strong. It's gonna be there. Especially for the size of that knife. You're getting a lot, pretty good amount of cutting edge. I think that's a pretty sweet little knife.
I'd say, and it's I like that it's a good steel, something that will last a good amount of time. Because I don't like knives that are easy to sharpen because they go dull quick. You kind of don't win out at all. You just end up spending more frequent time rather than a lot of time sharpening your knife.
And that old saying is so true that a sharp knife is a safe knife. I truly believe that. I think the sharper your knife is, the more it's going to do predictable things, and then the more the duller your knife is, the more unpredictable, the harder you're going to have to cut, and the more likely you are to lop a finger off or stab yourself. Or something
now, to be fair, when you do hit yourself with a sharp knife, it is not a good day.
It's bad. Yeah, it's going to be bad.
It's less than ideal. It's less than ideal.
I just cut myself. Let's see if you can. if the audience can see this. I'm going to bring up 2 fingers so I don't offend anybody. But I just cut myself about 3 days ago with I have it right here. I cut myself with a Microtech Stitch, which ironically the name of the knife is this Stitch. And I was goofing around with this, opening and closing it, and absolutely chopped my finger with a very, I mean, especially for a Microtech, pretty sharp blade, and chopped into my middle finger. And the one thing I will say about getting cut by a really sharp knife, at least it heals pretty quickly, because it's just like, I think it's like your fingers like barely forgot that it was attached.
True, you got a nice little incision. Just put it right back together.
That. It is just really,
Ooh, I like that blade. It's it's kind of got a shark tooth feel to it.
Like a really good kind of choke up location. Nice. I will say, for the size of this knife, I don't know if you can tell in comparison with my hand, this is a big knife, but it is an absolutely minuscule cutting edge. So, all right, that's a way big. It's a classic cold steel owner. That's not a knife, and then they'll pull out a huge,
the cold steel
knife.
owner. Yeah, then they pull out their machete grade steel pocket knife.
Yeah, that's the most cold steel owner moment I've ever seen.
But hold on, I could do that because I also have this.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Ultratech. Yeah, love it.
Pretty cool.
Let's see. I've got a an Ultratech as well.
Ooh, very nice.
You gotta have. I think this is actually. I think
it's Microtech, isn't it?
Yeah. Microtech, Ultratech. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the model. You're right. The model is the Ultratech.
Yeah, that I think honestly, like, this is a great segue into the EDC topic, because I think that it's like, if you're not carrying a knife, what are you doing with your life?
Mike Ranger says he keeps his fidget knife kind of dull. That's fun, but you got to live on the edge, even if that edge digs into you.
As long as you've got a sharp knife or on you somewhere, I don't care if you have a second little pocket toy, but you gotta have a sharp blade on you.
Yeah, no, you really do. And like, I just picked up this guy from Kansept, which that's actually why I reached out to them to send this out for the giveaway, because I bought this with my own money, and I was like, this is I'll try it out, and I love it. I've been rocking it at work for a couple of weeks, and I use them pretty aggressively at work. I'll be stripping cable or something, pulling with all my might. So I really start to feel the comfort of a knife if you're using it intensely. So I'm liking their brand a lot.
How has the edge retention been on that?
Well, this one, it hasn't been bad, but I haven't done too much crazy stuff with it yet. So I haven't gotten to really test.
Yeah. What's the steel on that one?
This is also S35 VN.
See, that's a great steel.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I've started with OS 8 when I started getting more into knives, and then I moved up to CTS, XHP, if there's any knife nerds in the comments. And then I got this, and this is definitely, I think this is a superior steel for sure.
So I think if we should make like a list of things that you should definitely have on you for your everyday.
Yeah. Right.
I think pocket knife is, to me, that is
number one.
That's the top, the basic. Like, if I leave the house without a pocket knife, I feel like I've left without like my feet or something.
I feel like I walk crooked. Like I'm out of
exactly.
Like there's an imbalance in the force. That's what I feel like.
Totally. Yeah,
so,
and I think your EDC knife, to me, I don't think that you really have to go crazy. Like, you don't have to have like a cold steel folding samurai sword in your pocket.
Tiny little thing.
The Kansept, to me, that is a perfect EDC knife. Like, it's light. It's gonna have great edge retention. It's gonna have it's probably wicked sharp out of the box.
Yeah.
Easy to operate. Like, you can open and close it with one hand. Most of the tasks that you're going to be doing with a knife on a daily basis, unless you're, Rambo or something like that, probably opening boxes, maybe, stripping a small cable, unless you're, a
Well,
big
it
time.
depends what city you live in. Are you in like Chicago? Because
Yeah.
like
No, yeah. There might be some other circumstances that you might want a pocket knife on you, but I would say the majority of them are going to be things that you can accomplish with a relatively small
it's
knife.
true. And like I carried this for years, and just because I do like that I can get a huge grip on it. But
Yeah.
on that note, how there's so many times where I've been choking up to the end so I don't stab through the box of tape and slice the items at the bottom of the box. So
I
that's
I
a
have
real thing.
here the a couple of the knives that I've carried the most. And I think this is the Demco 80 20.5. This is probably the knife that I've carried the most in the last like year or two. And let's see here. You can kind of see the blade is not that big. This is not a huge knife. I mean, just in general, this is like it's very slim. It's
Mhm.
pretty lightweight. It's not like, I mean, it's not a massive knife, but you can get, a full grip on it. You can kind of choke up on it. It has like this kind of little spot right here. You can kind of put your finger on if you are cutting across something. This is like a pretty great size for your EDC knife. And if you're really thinking about it, like adding this to your pants, I mean, you're adding 3 ounces, maybe something like that. Something that's, less than a quarter inch thick, the whole knife. I mean, it's maybe 3/8, the whole knife. That's a really slim, small thing to have in your pocket. And I think, like, if you're thinking about like, just a day-to-day basis, this is like very low effort to keep this on you. And
Yeah.
it's very useful. Like, use it
Well,
every day.
well, that's the thing with like a lot with like concealed carry for pistols, which we're getting into after this. If you're not a knife guy, hang on or come back in 10 minutes. But yeah, we're getting to pistols and other cool stuff too. But like same thing with firearms. If you have a firearm that's too uncomfortable to even carry, like you
Yeah,
might be rocking a 50 AE Desert Eagle, but it doesn't
totally.
matter if it's in your gun safe at home if
Yeah.
you're at Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's probably one of the hardest things with, yeah, we should probably just go ahead and get right into it. I think carrying a pistol, that's like another basic necessity.
Oh yeah.
Especially, I mean, I think for anybody, it's the great equalizer, and I think there's just a lot of circumstances where it's a good thing to have. And your own personal protection is your own personal responsibility. So yeah, I think it's a basic thing that you want to carry. But I think to your point, if you have a massive carry piece that is uncomfortable to carry, maybe you don't have the right holster for it, and you never carry it, you leave it in your car all the time, you know you basically are donating that gun to thieves,
Or
leaving it
you
in
walk
your
out
car.
and get smoked by your own gun, then they get that achievement.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They get
It's
gamer points for that one. But yeah, I think yeah, if it's too uncomfortable to carry, what's the point? There is a kind of a diminishing returns when you get to the point of something that is so small that it's useless.
yeah.
Um,
So, dare you say what is so small that it's useless
I mean,
for carry guns? You know,
yeah, I think they're, I wouldn't say useless, but I would say limited use. The pocket Derringer, the 2 shots of 22 Magnum. I mean, there are some situations where that is plenty. Uh,
true. Like if you're shooting a snake and it's not moving.
yeah, but I think if you're just looking at a comparison between, and I'm not even like a super fan of this gun, but if you're comparing a 2-shot 22 Magnum Derringer to a SIG P365, the P365 has a lot more capability, and
Oh
it's
yeah. And if you go 320, there's even more capability because it's like a teammate. You can leave it over there and it might smoke your opponent without you touching it or
Yeah,
you.
it's just gonna do the job for you.
Yeah, the official name for it is a 320 auto.
Yeah.
That's where we're going with that. Sorry, everyone.
I think you could, honestly, you could set up like some, some covering fire with your 320.
It's a teammate. Hey,
Yeah.
Obadiah on Rumble. What's up, man? I agree. You carry a knife, a gun, extra mags. See, that's what I'm talking about. He's got a bunch of other stuff there, but my screen's too far away, so I can't quite read it that well. Full disclosure.
Yeah, I think, extra mag, that's great. I don't think that's always like, I don't think you have to always have an extra mag on you. I think, especially in the summer, that can be really tough to do, but
Yeah, it can be.
it is pretty nice. Like I always look forward to the winter, to the colder months. You've got some more clothing on you, and you can carry a little bit more. I think that's always really fun.
Now, by little bit, do you mean like an MP5?
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny, but I, may or may not have concealed carried a MP5K on at least one occasion.
Did you? Now, what? How did you conceal such
So
a
I mean, and
thing?
yeah, that was definitely an off body carry, but it was definitely in a bag that I had on me. And MP5K is kind of a vibe.
There you go.
They're pretty pretty sick. Hey,
MP5K.
I'll say this: not the best at everything, but it is, I think, it sets the bar for what a 9mm sub gun can be.
It does. And there's a lot of things that are outdated on it, could change. People might hate me for that because there's MP5 people who just love it no matter what. But you're right. It's got the roller delay. It suppresses really nice because of that
Yeah.
and things like that. So
Yeah.
I'm with you there. It is pretty sick.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what we've settled on there for the number 2 slot is that everyone should be concealed carrying at least an MP5K and extra mags all winter long.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
That's the start.
That's the minimum.
If you're below that, are you really American?
Yeah,
There's a moth
exactly.
in my basement.
Exactly. Yeah. So knife, gun. What do you think is what's your third slot?
Well, actually, I want to dwell on the gun a little bit. So, like, what?
Okay.
Sorry, so you're talking about when it's not effective anymore. So you're saying like a 2-shot Derringer. I would venture to say, is it useful if it doesn't have 10 rounds? At least 10 rounds. I mean, it's useful, but like realistically, would you want to carry something with less than 10 rounds?
I would say,
that's like following jersey rules.
Yeah, I would say it depends on a lot of factors, right? It depends on the level of risk that you're exposing yourself to. Now there's like that saying, like, you can make great plans, but the enemy gets a vote. And I think that kind of goes for your concealed carry. Like, you could be like, oh, dude, I'm a great shot. I never expose myself to any risk. I only go to really safe places. All I need is this 2-shot Derringer in my pocket. And next thing you know, I mean, the enemy gets a vote and you get, attacked by 5 dudes. You walk into the 5 guys situation,
Now, hold on. We're saying Derringer. Now, does this apply to like 1911 and your 7 to 8 rounds? Or, I mean, you could go more.
Yeah.
But that might be outside the realm of EDC.
To me, I think, my personal like threshold is I think a 6-shot revolver is, to me, almost not like I don't think I would carry that. I don't think I would consider carrying that. I think the floor is 10, but for me.
I agree.
And
I think 10 is the floor for sure. And if you have 10 and you're only carrying 10, you should definitely try to fit a spare mag.
yeah. Now, if you had asked me the same question 5 years ago, I don't think I would have said 10. I think I maybe would have said 6, something like that. But I think with advancements in guns like the P365, it's a tongue twister for me.
Yeah.
I think because of advancements like that, where you can have this really tiny pistol, you have 10+1 in a flush fitting mag. I mean, really don't have an excuse to go any lower than that. Unless you're like Jerry Miculek, and then 6-round revolver is gonna do plenty.
Yeah. Yeah, see the 6th round though, like, and also people forget, like, if you have to use it, you're not gonna be like sitting there with your arm behind your back doing your little bullseye stance in single action. Like, you're gonna be sending it. I have a feeling there's not gonna be sights anywhere involved with this scene, personally.
Yeah, I think it really depends. It for sure depends, but yeah, I mean, what are the statistics? Like most self-defense encounters happen within like 7 yards or something like that, right? It's like 21 feet.
It is. It's like just outside of a knife range.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it depends on the knife, dude.
True.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I've seen a certain person whose name I won't mention, who may or may not love flannel shirts, extend the range on knives pretty significantly.
I mean, this isn't terrible. Something like this is decent.
I'm thinking more of the kind of flying through the air knives.
Oh, that type of extension of range. Now, there are hazards involved with throwing knives. Just be warned, everyone. Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Not all these teeth of mine are real, and it has something to do with these. So, not these exact ones, but same deal. So,
perfect, right?
Yeah, back to the topic though. We'll get into that. Maybe we'll get into that later on. All right, so we're talking pistol is got to be more than 10 rounds. Now, I can't touch a pistol because YouTube will not be happy. So, I attempted to upload a photo here. Nice. So, this is my carry setup right here in the bottom. So it's a little small, but so that's a CZP-10F with a flashlight, an optic, and I carry a spare mag. So in that, I've got a lot of weight. It's basically a gun that's potentially too big to carry for most people.
It looks like Mick Ranger is saying that he can't find the email sign-up link.
Yeah, I got you, bro. I appreciate that. I actually caught that, and I believe it has been added.
Nice. Okay.
I think I added it a while back. I think it took a little bit to update, but it should be there. I appreciate the heads up, sir.
Yeah, it's ninjainflannel.com.
The Great Do says P10. That's right, man. P10. So anyway, this photo I've got here, this is my carry gun that I carry all the time. And I will say, because it's so big and the P10 grip is very sharp, it's not the most comfortable carry gun, but I'm the most proficient with it. I always train with it. I shoot any competition with it. It's my all-around pistol. So it's the thing where I can pull up and shoot in the dark and basically be good to go. So I just make the struggle personally where I'll just suffer through it, stabbing me in the side or whatever. And it's not terrible sometimes, but like it could be rough once in a while. I might dumb down to the P10C in the near future.
That's what I carry a P10C a lot, and I really like it. I think that it is a good balance. It's not too heavy. It's not too crazy huge. It's definitely small enough that it is relatively easy to carry, but it's also big enough that when you shoot it, it doesn't feel like you're shooting a pocket pistol. If shoots like a full-size gun.
No, I agree. And I think the key is them shooting like a full-size gun. And I think that's something the 365 has encompassed well, where when you're grabbing the gun itself, like your pinky's not below it. Like you're actually getting a full grip, on a compact pistol.
Totally. I also carry a Walther PDP, and man, I cannot say enough good things about that. And I'm a huge CZ Stan. I mean, I'm always a fan of picking up a CZ, but man, I got that Walther, and I've had just truly nothing but great experiences with it. It shoots great. It's really easy to carry. It comes optic cut, which is really nice. Yeah, just overall super positive experience with that gun.
Yeah, so I actually held a PDP in a gun shop the other day. It was like the PDP match. It
Yeah,
wasn't the steel frame, but I picked it up and I was like, this is problematic, and it would be just as bad as carrying my full size P10F.
yeah,
But that at that moment, I didn't seem to care all that much. But
yeah.
I really like the feel of that
The one I
PDP.
have is like Glock 19 sized, so it's
Okay,
like
nice.
15+1 in a flush fitting mag. Not a super like fancy gun or expensive or anything like that. I've got a little hollow sun on there. Yeah, great gun though. And uh, honestly, after having that gun, I've definitely found myself on Walther's website a time or two, just scoping out some of their bigger, more full size guns. And yeah, I mean, if their carry gun shoots as good as it does, I'm very curious what their more match oriented and full size guns shoot like.
Hey, welcome to the stream, Roy Rat. And 45 USP, that's pretty nice. That would be a monster to carry. That's some dedication. But welcome to the chat. I just saw your name pop up. I recognize you from the last stream. But
So pistol,
pistol for
knife,
sure. Knife.
probably wallet.
Well,
Do we even
wallet. I
talk
guess
about it?
wallet and phone. You're kind of trapped into. You gotta have
Yeah,
those.
yeah, you have
So
to have those. That's the bare minimum.
gotta have those. Now me, I'm not quite normal all the time, but I do lock picking kit too.
Oh, I often carry this micro. Let's see if you. I don't know if you can see that.
Is that a lock pick kit?
This is a lockpicking kit. So
I thought mine was tiny.
this, this is just a really small, like kind of rubberized case, and then inside of that you have. Oh, let's see if I can get the camera to kind of focus on it. You have a torsion bar, small.
Nice.
And it's like kind of an average width. I haven't measured it, but it's a pretty average width for most like master locks and kind of a lot of the locks that you'd see out there. And then you have kind of a slightly angled pick. You have a your typical rake.
Yeah.
You have kind of I don't know what you'd even call this, but
I
it's
actually call that a rake and the other one a wave rake. But full
okay.
disclosure, I don't actually know what I'm talking about, but that's how I distinguish them.
And then the fourth component of the set is actually a really small saw, which I truly have not found a full use for with lockpicking, but
Did you
it
say
does kind of,
saw?
yeah, it's just a very small saw on the end, and it's pretty nice. It kind of acts as like the handle when you're using the picks. But
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, I think it definitely is not. I'm not 100% sure why it's there, but I'm not arguing with having a tiny saw in my pocket at any given time. I mean, I'm sure I'll run into a use for it eventually. Some tiny trees to cut down or something.
Interesting. Now, who makes that one?
I think this is Covert Instruments, potentially.
Oh, I've actually heard that name before. Those are actually pretty nice, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. It may or may not be Covert Instruments, but I remember. Oh, you know what? It wasn't Covert Instruments. Although I do have a Covert Instruments set that is great. So shout out Covert Instruments. I have a set. This set is from ITS Tactical. That's the name of the
Nice.
company. And this little tiny set, it fits into, that fifth little tiny pocket in your jeans?
Yeah.
This fits perfectly in there.
Interesting.
And, it's smaller than a Bic lighter. So
That's
you can
pretty
just
cool.
tuck that into your pocket. You totally forget about it. And then let's say you forgot your keys. No problem. You're in.
Nice. I don't want to spend too much time on it because not everyone's into this. But mine's from Sparrow lockpick, so it actually functions like a back lock pocket knife. So you hit your back lock and your torsion bar pops right out the bottom. And then you have actually the same picks as your kit, just about. Then they fold out and they actually lock like a pocket knife. So pretty sweet.
That's nice.
And this was from Sparrow lockpicks. They actually sent this out for me to review, which was pretty cool of them, actually.
Have to put that on my Christmas list. That's a nice upgrade too. It seems like that is a little bit more substantial.
Well, I like that you won't. I like that you can't lose your picks because it's folding, and then it's also a. I lost my train of thought.
It's cool.
It's always on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So pretty cool.
So how do you feel about watches?
I need to get a good watch. So this might be an interesting topic. Maybe some of you guys in the comments know as well. What do you guys think about watches? What's a good watch? And I don't need like some crazy one, just like a good EDC watch.
I think that I have two that are go-tos for me. So I think, and I'm not like, I'm not going to pull out like a Rolex or something like that, but I think this is a Casio, which is kind of, it's not quite a G-Shock. It's like a little bit lighter weight than that.
Okay, nice.
You can see also it's just not super thick, which I appreciate a lot. One of the cool things, this has it's basically a world timer. So if you're traveling, you're out of the country or something like that, you're in a different time zone, you can just click over and it'll give you home time. It'll give you the time where you're at, local time. It's pretty cool. It's got an alarm function. This watch, I think, is like $50, something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I've had this one for probably like 3 years, and I think I maybe have replaced the battery one time. So it's, really, really great. And if I want to go for something maybe a little bit more old school, something that is maybe a little bit more analog, I like to go for a Seiko. This is this Seiko. Let's see here if you guys can see that. It's a Seiko 5. And what's cool about this is an automatic watch.
Oh, nice. Those are cool.
So no batteries, and as long as you're wearing it, it's gonna keep going. And it's I think it's really cool to have something that's just basically runs off of your own body's power. And it's kind of wearing a watch, I think, is not something I always do, but I do find that it is pretty nice to have, especially especially when I'm traveling. I love to have a watch on when I travel.
That's cool. Hey, Mike Ranger says he lost a $5,000 Rolex.
Ooh, wow!
He's still not over it. He says.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, where did you happen to leave that? I know somebody with a metal detector and a missing empty spot in their watch collection. Okay, I'm gonna throw out one other wild card.
Okay.
So I've been carrying one of these now for about a year.
Interesting.
I picked them up on Amazon, so the highest quality comes from Amazon. It's not something that I think everybody is going to see it using, but for me personally, it is has become something that I will not leave the house without. These are just really small and thin microfiber kind of handkerchiefs.
Interesting.
And I can't get enough of these things, man. I love them.
Is this like for glasses or for blowing your nose?
So it is soft enough that you can, if you're wearing sunglasses, you can clean your glasses with it. It is super absorbent. So, you're out somewhere and you spill something on your shirt, boom, suck it up with this thing. Nosebleed, boom, you've got the answer in your pocket. I'm not the blow your nose and then stuff it into your pocket kind of guy. I think that is yucky.
Well, you got to fold it first.
Yeah.
Every tissue gets about 4 folds.
Yeah.
Unless
I
you're
think
desperate.
going straight back into your pocket with that is pretty gross. But in a pinch, absolutely, certainly. And then, you never know. You might get a little tear going. Maybe see a bald eagle fly over the American flag or something like that, and you have a patriotic tear come to your eye. You got it for that. Just a gentle dab. You might get really sweaty. And
full disclosure, I'm always really sweaty. So there's that.
Oh, dude, same, dude. Yeah. So, pick and flick. Yeah, honestly, the great dude. Great point there. Pick and flick, dude. This is the way.
All right. So to summarize it, EDC, you need obviously Walton phone that's already there. You're talking knife. If you're a little out there, lock picking kit, tissue of sorts, debatable, a watch, and a gun. 7 things.
I think that's pretty good. I mean,
that's about what I carry regularly.
I don't know. A lot of people do this. I personally see a lot of value in it. A lot of people carry a tourniquet or some type of first aid.
Not a bad idea, really.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think that could be very useful.
Like this is a little beefy, but this is like the smallest you can get, like a decent trauma kit. Like you have wound packing, a tourniquet, chest seal, stuff like that. And if you do get this stuff, I recommend learning how to use it, even from YouTube, just something somewhere from someone who knows what they're talking about. I've done a little bit of training, all informal, but I've done some training, and it's good to run it through your head, just so you got it in the back of your mind, CPR, stuff like that.
I think especially like in your car, maybe if you have like a bag. I'm a big fan of like carrying like a small bag.
Roy Rat says spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. That's all he needs.
I see. Great, dude. Guys, no flashlight.
I forgot about the flashlight. Just like in real life, I always forget the flashlight.
Yeah, I have a flashlight on my pistol, and I have a flashlight on my phone. And basically, if my phone flashlight won't do it, the pistol flashlight is gonna have to do it.
That's unfortunately that's where I'm at as well.
Oh, here we go. Obadiah says a spare handcuff key.
Ooh,
I haven't run into a use for that yet, but I can definitely see.
Actually, that's from the book. That's from the book 100 Deadly Skills. You sew a handcuff key into the seam of your clothes.
Ooh, that's James Bond level, dude.
It is. That's actually a pretty cool book, 100 Deadly Skills. I learned some cool stuff in that.
So, okay. Yeah, I think flashlight, that's definitely something I think I will work on adding to the everyday rotation.
Got it. So before we move on, anyone who got on the live stream a little later, we're doing a giveaway near the end. So far, we've talked about the Kansept pocket knife, which is pretty cool. S35 VN steel, carbon fiber handle, and other details. Other things we're going to do, we have a rangefinder. This is about maybe $110 rangefinder, something like that. 7-power zoom. Nothing super crazy, but it will be free. So very nice. And it's almost hunting season, so this might be useful. So stay around for that. Last thing, not near as big as the other two, but it's just a little ammo pouch. Got a separator in the middle for your pistol or rifle ammo. And then this armband thing that does something for someone, but I don't know what. I think it's for operators. So if you're an operator, it's for you.
Perfect.
Dope charts, maps, your name, whatever you want to do. But anyway.
Someone just said Olight has some cool little lights. See, I think those for me, those fall along the same lines as the 320.
And Colt
where
Steel.
they've got a dual use. The Olight.
They do have a dual use.
Perfect if you need a small grenade.
That's true. And it's got a decent cook time on it, but still a grenade.
Oh, he's asking, how do we sign up for giveaways? Go to ninjaandflannel.com.
Thank you for that, sir. Yeah, there's actually a link in the description on Rumble or YouTube, wherever you're at. Ninjaandflannel.com. Right in the cover page is going to be The sign up for the email list. I'm technologically illiterate, so I'm basically going to copy and paste everyone who signs up tonight, put them in the wheel, and then I'll just shoot you an email that you want, and you'll be good to go. I would like to announce the winners, but I'd have to sit here on my phone seeing who won, which would be a little boring for you all. So there's that. So I'll shoot you an email you want, get your shipping address, and send it. Full disclosure, the rangefinder and the knife are both going to have a slight delay on the shipping because I still got to review them, which won't take long. But yeah, check it out. Also on my site, there's a page of links. So if you're interested in some like the Jackal, you've seen a lot of my videos, or the Bren, I do have links on there, and there's more going on that where it goes to like PSA, stuff like that. It just supports the channel. It's full disclosure. It's an affiliate link, and it keeps things rolling over here. So if you do like something, click it, check it out, and hope you enjoyed it on there. Moving on though. So flashlights are something we talked about. No, you don't need a flashlight if you have NightVision.
Yeah, totally.
Well, you probably still need a flashlight, but it was a good. It was a good sentence. It was just too fun to say.
It was a nice segue.
So completely switching gears, and we may lose people or gain people in this section, but night vision. Let's start talking about it. So, What's your take on where to go if you have no nods? What are you going to start on?
Wow, this is a tough one. So I think for me, and full disclosure, beginner level knowledge on night vision.
You're not quite beginner. You have a decent functioning. If you have a decent functioning nod and IR illuminary laser, and you've actually used it while shooting, you're just a tier above beginner. You're like you can function in the dark.
Yeah, and what I would go for is I would
Very
say
nice.
I agree. I'd say I'm definitely in the early stages. Maybe not quite beginner, but I'm in early stages of knowledge.
Hey, I'll tell you what, JTM013, the giveaway with the nods, I am 100% down if we can get Jimmy to give his away. So just get him not to be selfish, and we'll give his away.
So here's the things that I'll say about night vision. It is easier to get than you think. It is less expensive than you think. And it's way, way cooler than you think. I think I think when you use it, if you get a chance to use it one time, you will budget, you'll save, there
will be ramen noodles.
You will eat ramen noodles for a year to save
up ramen anyway.
Nods. I remember vividly the first time that I used it. I borrowed a PVS 14, a green phosphor PVS 14 from a friend of mine. And we were out in a field at night, and I was looking around. I was looking up at the sky. I was looking at the tree line, and it was like green daytime around me. And then I kind of flipped it up, and I was looking around, and it's just black nighttime outside. I mean, I could barely see my buddy standing 6 feet away from me.
And then the stars. You'll see one star with just your naked eye, and you look up, and it's a whole sky of stars. That's not the point of it, but it's cool.
It's just incredible. And okay, so let's talk budget. I think you can.
We don't need no stinking budget.
I think.
Bye now.
Get your hand on a good helmet. A decent helmet. The mount and the night vision unit itself. A green phosphor PVS 14. I think you can accomplish all of that for less than $2,500, which is a lot of money, but you could buy it in stages. You could save.
So what'd you list again? List that real quick.
I would say helmet, mount, and the unit itself.
Yeah, that's about right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's your biggest things. However, I'm going to tell you right now, if you get a green phosphorus PVS 14, you're going to see decent in the dark, but you have to get an illuminator. I'll tell you right now from personal experience, you hit it with an infrared illuminator, and it goes from kind of like VHS to 4K. It just gets rid of all the graininess, and you can see far. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
I think it depends a
that's
lot
another
on the
another
quality
1400
of the. It depends on the quality of the night vision unit
True.
that you have, but yeah, it definitely, illumination is always helpful. And there are some less expensive infrared illumination options out there.
That's true. And if you're just going to do an illuminator, you probably save even more, just a couple $100.
The great dude said, Jimmy, I paid less for my car. Now,
as you should, priorities.
Yeah, your car can't do a lot of things that night vision can do. So
It can't help you see in the dark unless you count headlights.
Yeah, headlights may or may not count. So this is my helmet setup, which I hope you guys can see.
Very fancy.
Ops Core bump helmet. This is a just your basic flip down mount.
Wilcox.
This is actually this is a clone of the Wilcox G24. I don't want to get super nerd on this. This is a knockoff of the Wilcox G24. I've run this knockoff for hours and hours and hours, and I've never had any issues with it. It literally, and I've owned a legit Wilcox G24, and this is at least as nice as that is.
Interesting.
Now, that might sound like I'm trying to cope, but I literally have had both at the same time.
Interesting. So budget wise, there's your money. Now, why is this useful? So, for example, you can go out in the dark where it's completely blacked out. You turn it on and you can run. Like when we do it, we actually are running and gunning. Like everything you do in the daytime, you go rifle, sling it, switch to pistol, all that stuff. Reloads are a little tough because looking down, everything is blurry. There's ways to do it where you take a flip cap with a smaller hole drilled in it, and you can switch back and forth. But really, like, you're just running in the dark, and you can do everything you do shooting in the day in the night. But if you have an IR laser, you don't have to look up your sight. You just kind of hold it like this, hit your button, and point click. Yeah, it's like a PC gamer playing a first person shooter. You just point and click. Fun. It's very fun.
I think the $2,500 budget. I think that's a big pill to swallow, but it is like all like you could break it up. You could easily break it up.
Oh,
you can buy the helmet that's like $300. $300 is definitely not a
it's not a small purchase, but it's not like a car
not
either,
life-changing amount of money. And I highly recommend save up for it, budget. I wouldn't go into debt to buy night vision, but look up Dave Ramsey.
I wouldn't do that. You won't have any of this stuff if you look up Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, Dave Ramsey's a little lame, but he'll teach you how to budget,
Oh, true. Then you use that skill to buy your night vision.
Okay, hey, that's what I did. Yeah.
I'm down.
I went through the Dave Ramsey course. I was made to do it. I was forced to do it in high school, and it basically just taught me how to get enough money to buy the things that I want to buy.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. So get your helmet, about $300. Your mount can be anywhere from $120 to maybe about $350, somewhere in there. Your hearing protection. This is probably what a lot of people on here are using at the range anyway. The Walker's laser
for the win. That's what I use.
The little mounts came from Amazon. Those were $20. Yeah, this the counterweight bag, Amazon special. It's full of batteries. And then
so Mike Ranger, you can break it up into a 30-year payment. Just take a little equity loan on your house, and then you got 30-year. You won't quite get the 100, but
yeah.
Now, but with all joking aside, though, like if you want to you need to build a good rifle setup with white light and be proficient with it with a belt and stuff long before night vision. So like if you're on here, chances are you're not new to shooting if you're on here, but if you're new to shooting, like Night vision's way down the road. Get some good weapon systems, good white light, and practice with that for a long time. Because realistically, night vision is more for your sneak attack, even though we're just LARPing around anyway. But like once white light comes out, night vision gets flipped up. Like it's only the beginning, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the night vision to me is, it's another tool in the toolbox, and it gives you more capability. I have used it in I've hog hunted with it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun, I think, there's obviously at the moment not very many situations where you get to, thinking, man, I wish I had night vision right now, other than on the range or maybe out hog hunting at night. But other than that, I'm sure you can imagine when you might really wish that you had it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I do not recommend trying out somebody's duels or quads before you get singles, because then your first endeavor of $2,500 is going to turn into like $10,000. So you're just better off not knowing that exists.
Yeah,
that's
just
a game changer.
Put that out of your mind. Yeah.
But all right, so that's pretty much covers the beginning of night vision. Right? You got anything else to add to that?
I don't think so. I mean, it's very cool. I can't reiterate enough how fun and cool it is.
It's very fun.
I feel like it's one of those things where you hear a lot of people talk about it. There's a lot of hype around it. People use it to kind of flex in the Wendy's drive-through. And like, I want to just cut through all of that and just say it is every bit as fun and every bit as cool as you think it is, if not more.
It is. After you shoot in the night with the night vision and the dark running around, you're like, do I really want to shoot in the daytime? I don't think I do.
Yeah.
You're like, you only want to shoot at night.
I've had a few experiences in my life that have just made me giggle. Like full auto.
Ooh, that would
they call it the giggle switch for a reason. I mean, it's just a silly good time. Driving in a souped up V8 and just putting the pedal to the floor. I mean, that's giggle inducing, very fun and super cool. And I would put, using night vision for the first time right up on that list. I mean, the first time you flip that unit down and just feel like you're in like Splinter Cell, I mean, it's hard to even express how fun and cool that was.
That is pretty sweet. And then you get the best is when you pull it up and you realize that it is like full night out where you're at.
Yeah.
So that covers night vision. Now this is another big leap away from it. So training drills. This is totally off of EDC and night vision. We're jumping around just to have some different topics tonight. So training. So what I've noticed at a lot of ranges, and this used to be me not that long ago, is that people usually go there, they put up their target, they stand at a set distance, and they might even be like focusing on accuracy, or they might just be blasting, but they're shooting stationary and they're just load and shoot. So what I kind of learned from a lot of other YouTube channels, honestly, was to start actually doing training drills, like with a shot clock. So like I highly recommend a shot clock. If you're way by yourself, there's even free apps that kind of work. But like $100, $120, something like that, get a shot clock. And there's a ton of drills that you'll start to increase your skill, and the shot clock shows if you're getting better. So I like, what are some that you like to do? I can go over some that I like as well, or I can start and you can think about it.
Yeah, I think, there's so many great ones. I always find that like, especially at the beginning of a range session, you want to start off with something that's going to warm you up. It's maybe going to, get your muscles going, kind of get you in the zone of like, activating a lot of different skills. So I like to do like a 1R1. I think a 1R1 is a really fun way for me to kind of just warm up early on in the range, which is just shoot a target, do a reload, shoot a target, and just do that, maybe 10 times, 20 times, something like that. And I think it gets you're warmed up, you're shooting, you're reloading, you're, functioning through feeling recoil, you're getting your trigger pull in, you're getting your sight alignment, you're getting reload, you're getting, racking
you're drawing. It's like a little of everything.
Yeah. And it's simple. And if you do 20 repetitions of that, you've used 40 rounds. And, a box of 9mm is $12 or something like that. So you've spent probably $10 and you've gotten in, you've gone through a lot of the different skills that you would get, that you'd want to train through. And I don't think 1R1 is the ultimate drill or anything.
That's a good warm up.
It's a great warm up to me. Yeah.
So now so after you're warmed up, so here's what I like to do. And this is actually pretty simple, but you can keep moving further and further back doing the same drill and slightly mixing it up. So I like doing 3 targets, maybe 5 yards apart, something like that. And I usually start maybe 10 yards, however far enough back I can get, so I'm not shooting bullets sideways through the papers, basically. But usually about 10 yards. And I like to start with rifle. I'll pop up from a low ready or high ready. On the buzzer, I'll put 2 rounds in the center of each target, and then reload and put 2 rounds in the center of each target. So you can do that. You can also do the same thing with pistol: 2 in each target, reload, 2 in each target. Then if you want to get transitions into it, I'll do the rifle, 2 on each target, let it run dry, sling the rifle, draw the pistol, 2 on each target. So in this drill, kind of describing what you get, you're getting your follow-up shots. So you get your double taps. Now you're starting to feel a little more of if you're managing recoil. 2 shots isn't much for that, but it's a good start to it. So you get your 2 rounds there. You get a reload with both guns. You can get a rifle to pistol transition. You get your low ready on sights on target. You get your draw from your holster, pistol sights on target. I feel like that little setup is a pretty decent way to be well-rounded, and it doesn't take that much ammo. It's usually 6 to 12 rounds, depending on if you're doing 2 runs with a reload with a rifle and pistol.
Yeah. One of my favorite, once I kind of get warmed up, one of my favorite things to set up at the range is this helps if you have a great range. And I highly recommend that everybody goes out and joins a really good gun club or a good range or build your own. But what I love is to do draw from the holster. This is just a little handgun course of fire that I like to do a lot.
Hey, Mike Ranger, I wouldn't say you're not as knowledgeable as us. We're just practicing. We're not professionals by any means, but this is what we try to do to improve. But
yeah, this is just for fun. And, I think the best thing about this as a sport is that the person that you're competing against is yourself. And so just getting 1 second faster is a massive improvement when you're going up against yourself. You're, shaving little bits of time off is really rewarding. But all right, so my little course of fire that I like to set up: you draw from a holster, you shoot a silhouette, and I usually like to set the silhouette up a little bit further away, maybe 30 yards away.
Oh, okay.
So draw from the holster, make a single kind of long distance shot, run, maybe not super far, 10, 15 yards, go through a dueling tree, just, 4, 5, 6 targets, and then do a reload on the run and run through a plate rack. I think that's so fun. It's really, really nice because you're getting you're testing your accuracy, your target transitions, you're running a little bit, you're doing a little reload in there. That's a little course of fire I like to set up, and it literally requires a plate rack, a dueling tree, and a silhouette, which are 3 things that are at every single steel range.
Yeah, that's true. Well, also, I like the fact that you're running a bit. If you get your drills where you're actually sprinting, it can eventually replace some of your gym. You're preparing a gun, a plate carrier. You're running enough where you're drenched in sweat in the end and you're ready to rack out.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I'm definitely not as fit or athletic as I should be, but it is it's nice to to get a little movement in there. I think that really ups your heart rate, induces a little bit of stress, and yeah, it's just a good way to kind of raise the stakes a little bit.
No, I agree. And the other thing is, like last night, we did to raise the stakes even more. We did a drill where we did a 50-yard square with 9 shooting locations, 3, 3, and 3. What you do is you'd load all your mags randomly with like somewhere between 1 and 5 rounds.
Okay.
And then you'd book it like running a suicide. If you ran out of ammo between the actual VTECs, which were on each end, you had to finish the run with pistol until you got to cover to reload. Because if you reload out in the open, hypothetically you'd get smoked. Full disclosure, I am a civilian, never was a military or operator, any of that crap. That's why I'm flannel. But anyway, so you don't want to be reloading out in the open, which I think is common knowledge. So you would, if you run out and you don't know because you surprised yourself, you switch to your pistol and run it, and like you might be shooting 50 yards to your pistol while you're running. Just suppressive fire at that point. Get to your cover, reload, and then book it again. That's telling you.
In my head right now, what I'm hearing is just switch to your pistol. It's faster than reloading.
Switch your pistol, faster reloading. Oh yeah, Call of Duty got all that in all of our heads.
Yeah.
That's because we all failed that course so many times in the game.
I honestly I could see. I'm sure somebody has that as a tattoo, but that would be a sweet tattoo. I mean, it's tattooed on my brain, basically.
I need to get a morale patch for that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be a sweet patch.
They gotta have it. I've never seen it, or I would own it already. But it's gotta be somewhere.
Hey, maybe Ninja and Flannel needs to sell that on the website.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, we're gonna launch merch in the near future. I don't know when, but pretty soon, and we're gonna come out with some cool stuff. So stay tuned. Things are about to get real. But yeah, so pretty sweet. So the drill, but by the end, I was beat because you're wearing the plate carrier with plates. You got your rifle, pistol, ammo, all that, and it's just like. It really tests you when you're trying to shoot accurately and you are just gassed. It also reminds you should exercise.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is the most, it's so challenging to do, but it's something that you can do like very easily. And I think it kind of teaches you a little bit, a good set of skills. That are applicable even just like for hunting, right? Which is do a little bit of physical activity, whether it's sprinting or push-ups or anything like that that elevates your heart rate. Get your heart really pumping, and then set a rifle up on cover and try and make a longer distance shot, or and it doesn't have to be like crazy far, like 100 yards. To watch your reticle go boom, 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 boom with your heart rate.
I know exactly
what you're talking about. One of the craziest things. And to kind of like have to control your breathing, try and control your heart rate, like those things are skills that like anybody that's shot at a white-tailed deer can tell you your heart rate goes absolutely through the roof. I mean, that's a skill that is like super applicable in a competition, and just your fitness level really plays into that. But yeah, I think it's a great little exercise to do, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's crazy what happens when you get your adrenaline going. And actually, I talked to a guy who was infantry in the Army, and he was saying that they would do these drills where they would run to the point where they were almost like starting to get that black fuzz around the end of their vision, and then they would try to shoot a pistol like 50 yards. And I was like, that is tough, and I definitely need to try that.
Yeah, that sounds. I don't think I've done that, so I'll have to try that next time I'm at the range.
Well, for us, we may not have to run that far to get to that point.
No,
it might be easier. 100 yards and back, and we're ready.
An embarrassingly short amount of running will get me there.
Gotcha. All right. So aside from the range, though, I believe that most training can be done off the range. That's kind of the point I wanted to make tonight. And This is my own opinion, and I'm sure there's others who support it, It's that I believe that going to the range and shooting is like taking a test in school or in trade school or whatever. But dry fire is like studying. So if you're only going to the range to train, it's like trying to just take tests over and over without ever actually learning the course. So
Yeah,
I think that dry firing and finding a good system for how you're going to do that is almost more important than going to the range itself.
totally. I'll say this: the guy that I know that is the best, he's the best shooter that I know. The thing that he does
Is that me?
constantly, it
No, it's not me.
should I answer? No. No, I already roasted your shooting skills one time tonight. I'm gonna let you off the hook there.
Yeah, I couldn't even hear it.
Yeah. That's what made it fun is you couldn't defend yourself. Yeah, the guy that I know that's the best, he's the best pistol shooter I know for sure. He does a ton of dry fire, excuse me. He has he has hundreds and hundreds of hours of dry fire, and the way that he target transitions, his trigger control, his sight alignment, I mean, all of that he is getting in dry fire. And I mean, it also helps that he has spent a lot of time at the range and thousands of rounds. But I think if you ask him, he'd probably say the same thing. I bet 75% of his skill is built doing dry fire. And this guy is an animal with a pistol. I mean, out of the holster, he's making shots in half the time that I can. He's making shots twice as far as I can. He's missing 25% of the time that I'm missing. I mean, this guy is
nuts. He's just a different tier.
A beast. Yeah. And it's all dry fire. Or, a lot of dry fire. I won't discount all the time he spent on the range, but I will say a ton of his skill has been built like at home.
Now, to be fair, if you can shoot as much as you should dry fire, I'm sure that is better. Like you're gonna dry fire every morning and every night, but if you could shoot every morning and every night, I mean, by all means.
Totally, yeah. You probably get carpal tunnel or something like that, but
True.
Yeah,
worth it.
Yeah,
well worth it.
Yeah, but I mean, truly, I think for like most people, if you're talking about things that anybody can do, dry fire. You can literally dry fire sitting on your butt if you want,
And I don't know. I've never tried these Mantis systems and stuff, but I don't really think you need it. It might be a cool tool, but like if you can't afford it or you just don't want it, don't feel like you have to buy one of these fancy systems. Like for mine, I take little like clips or paper clips, hair clips, whatever. I'll clip them across the curtains in my room, 8 to 10 feet apart. Draw, get on target, pull that trigger back and feel the wall. By the way, draw, feel the wall. Or you can go draw to compressed ready over and over, and then go compressed ready to on your target over and over.
Yeah.
Break your drop into sections. After that, you can basically transition between them, just back and forth, just to be able to transition between those little targets. And because they're so small, your red dot or iron sights had to be so perfect that when you go to a silhouette target or something that's big, it's just cake.
If you have a printer, you can print out little tiny silhouettes and just on printer paper, and you can just cut them out and tape them to your wall, and or use a paper clip and clip your curtains. Somebody gave me a small, it's on like cardstock silhouette that's probably 4 inches by 5 inches or something like that. I mean, it's tiny, and that is like one of my favorite things. It's creased up, it's wrinkled. At this point, it looks pretty worse for wear, but it's one of my favorite things to just hang up a little silhouette, leaning on the edge of a dresser or something like that, and just obviously
that's actually pretty cool. I need to get some of those.
Yeah, and if you have a printer, you can just print them out at home for free on a piece of printer paper.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad deal. And like,
you actually don't need to print it out. You can just use scissors and just cut out a silhouette shape. Or you could use a note card. I mean, anything in that just little format, that's a great target.
And the thing I really love about it, and especially like with that, like I would like to try the Mantis system, but like
Yeah,
with that, I like that everyone has different budgets, and like like
totally.
some people they may have more bills, they may have different occupation. Everyone's got a different life. Somebody may have 10 kids, who knows? But I like that if you have the pistol and you have 50 rounds, you can do a ton of training, and then
Yeah,
once in a while go to the range and shoot some rounds to make sure you still know your gun works and you can handle recoil, make sure your training is working, stuff like that.
yeah,
And then you can go back to your free dry fire all the time.
yeah. And I definitely, I don't think that you need to like. I think that if you're doing drills, if you're doing really intentional training at the range, I don't think you really even need to be burning through 50 rounds at the range. I mean, it's great if you can, but if you're looking to save some money on ammo, you could literally do like a couple of drills of with low round counts and, probably walk away from the range 20, 30 rounds burnt, which I think at the moment, is pretty cheap.
Also with like the time management and with the ammo, like sometimes you get to the range, you're rushed, like, let's just do something. You end up burning more ammo. Like if you go with
Totally.
a plan, like, hey, I get there, I'm gonna do 5 draws from holster. I'm gonna do 1 R1s, and then do something with 3 targets, doing transition, something like that. Maybe like a
Yeah.
6 round burst to get a little bit of throttle control for your finger. And you could map it out and be like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna shoot exactly 37 rounds of rifle and 37 rounds of pistol, and that's
Totally.
gonna be my training day. Now, note from experience, if that's your plan, only bring that much ammo, because whatever ammo goes to the range with me usually doesn't come home. But so I had to
Yeah.
physically stop myself.
I made the mistake one time. I went to the range with a bunch of really great dudes, and it was a super fun. We had like a probably 4-hour range day, and dude, I burned through I think 600 rounds of rifle ammo. Now I have a lot of mags, so it was all in mags, and I brought a bunch of loaded mags, and then yeah, I probably burnt another, maybe 650 rounds of pistol ammo. So I don't even want to do the math on that. That is a pretty significant amount of money that I lost that day. I will say it was an extremely fun range trip, and I would 100% do it again. But it did kind of make me learn only bring what you're okay with burning.
Yeah, no, I agree. And taking other people to the range, because you want to give them a good experience, and if they're not into guns, you want it to be like the POW that ruins their financial
Yeah,
life and gets them into it. So you want to go and like, oh, here, dump this AK mag, stuff like that to get them
yeah,
fired
yeah,
up. Usually at your own expense.
yeah, yeah. It's I think having a suppressor has cost me a lot of ammo because
Ooh.
there's always people at the range who maybe have seen a suppressor on TV or they've heard of them, but they've never had a chance to shoot one. And I always want to help people check that off their bucket list. I mean,
Oh
it's so
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, and
And
you tune it up, dump some water in it if it's a pistol suppressor, get the exact subsonic ammo, make that sucker like a crossbow by the end.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Not to go too far back in the live stream, but the MP5K, I guarantee it had at least 1,000 rounds on it just from people who are like, "Oh my god, is that an MP5 suppressed?" And I'm like, "All right, here you go. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to try it. Check this one off your bucket list."
Hey, business plan for some of you entrepreneurs. Go buy yourself a Barrett 50 cal and charge like $10 a shot at the range. Go out there. Yeah. Here, go buy a $10 bullet.
It's
I'd
not
pay
a
you
bad
10.
plan.
Oh, I'd pay you
And at the
$10
end
to
of
take a
it,
shot on it.
maybe after 50 or 60 years of business, you can pay off your Barrett 50 cal.
Yeah, it'll be
your
trashed by then.
your $19,000 Barrett 50 cal.
We weren't going to talk about that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, not to bash the MP5, but I am a hardcore fan of the Strybog up here. I can't touch it because YouTube. But Strybog, my huge fan. I have a suppressor coming, should be delivered tomorrow, and to go underneath my handguard. So that's gonna be fun. Maybe some content about that in the future.
I wonder where you got that idea.
I can't say. It may have been Jimmy. It just may have been.
Interesting. And I wonder where I got the idea for the Strybog.
That was definitely me. I take full credit. So, all right. So, last thing is the giveaway. So here's what I'm thinking. We're flying by the seat of our pants. We're still fresh this whole live stream thing. I'm thinking of announcing all the winners on the next one.
Oh, that's a cool
Would
idea.
that make sense? I mean, I'll email them that they won, and we'll be like, yo, this guy won, all that stuff next time. I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So everybody that's in the live stream tonight, you got to tune in probably next week.
Yeah, heck yeah, next week.
Tune in next week, and you'll announce the giveaway.
Yeah, it'd probably be Thursday or Friday next week, something like that. Somewhere between Monday and Friday, there will be a live stream next week. So that should narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe this weekend. We don't know.
Yeah, I might get back on here. Me and Jimmy got some plans coming up, big plans. So I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but it's gonna be pretty cool. We're gonna be designing some interesting stuff. Jimmy's worried. I can see it.
I'm not worried. I'm stoked. I'm excited.
Are you stoked? All right,
I feel like I'm a terrible secret keeper. Everyone who knows me knows that. I cannot keep a secret. Oh, terrible.
I'm fantastic at keeping secrets, but it's no skill. It's because I tend to auto delete that information and I don't remember it either.
It depends on the type of secret. So if I have a secret, like if I've bought somebody a Christmas gift, and let's say it's December 2nd.
Oh, I got to tell them.
You're going to know what that gift is by December 2nd.
Oh, yeah. I'm be trying to get them to guess it, and then I'm just going to
tell them. Yeah.
Then I give it to them early, and I got to buy them another one.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's a secret that I know is negative in some way, I'm better at keeping that because who wants to give anybody bad news, you know?
I would delete all that stuff. Secrets, good, bad, people's names.
Dude, I can't spit it out fast enough.
Yeah, but we got some good stuff coming. I think we covered it. So we did EDC in the beginning, intro to night vision, stuff like that, and training. And then we talked. I think we decided to do the giveaway. We'll if you won, you'll get an email. But if you didn't win, you won't get an email. Just to clarify, that's how you'll know when you don't see the email. But but next week we'll announce who the winners were, what they won, all that stuff. Pretty cool.
I'm hoping that every time I get invited on here, I can change my background.
Yeah. So far you're
different background every time. That's what I'm shooting for.
Also, next live stream, we're going to be giving away like a $200 weapon light from HRT Tactical. Pretty cool. It's the same one that's on my Strybog. Not the same one, same model that's on my Strybog. It's got like an Xbox analog on the back, their own invention instead of a thumb switch, so you can reach around to grab it and just kind of bump it from any direction. Pretty neat light. It might be too bright, but I took it to a night shoot and it was the brightest flashlight of anybody there.
Wow.
It might be too bright for some encounters, but it's a sweet flashlight. That's going to be giveaway next stream. So don't miss that one because it's a sweet flashlight, and there's going to be some other stuff too. I was getting too excited about this one. I almost put too much stuff on here. So next one, there'll be more. We're going to try to do some giveaways every live stream just to keep it interesting.
Nice. Fun.
Yeah. You got anything else, Jimmy?
I think we've covered it. I feel complete.
I feel complete. All right.
We can keep talking about knives, but I feel like this is a good point to sign off.
Well, we can banish everyone else, and we can still talk about knives.
Okay.
Half the time, I forget we're on a live stream. We're just chatting about all this stuff.
Just goofing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Farewell, everyone. If you got on here late, make sure you get back to the beginning and see what you missed. And you also probably missed, if you just got on, that the live stream, the giveaway sign up is in the Rumble and YouTube description. Go to ninjaandflannel.com, sign up for the email list, and that will get you on the giveaway list. So check it out. Next week, we'll say who won, and farewell.